Most respected judges and my dearest friends, my heartfelt namaste to one and all. My worthy opponent is Fadhil Basheer. He is an engineering student at MES College for Engineering at Kuttipuram. He is the youngest of the 3 children.
Okay, thank you so much, Lekshmi. Now, please, Fadhil, could you please introduce Lekshmi to us?
Respected members of the jury, audience, a very good afternoon to you all. Standing here on stage with you today is Ms. Lekshmi Sony, a student of ST College, Alipura. She is a second-year BA English Literature student. And to all those asking, no, we did not plan this, we did not coordinate this outfit, it just happened. So yeah, I wish her all the best.
Thank you.
All right, so as you know, you get 30 seconds to start the topic. Lekshmi will speak for the topic and Fadhil will speak against the topic in first session. So Lekshmi, your time starts now.
That government is the best which governs the least, so said Thomas Jefferson. From Article 377 to pornography ban, from beef ban to liquor ban, India is turning into a tyrant nanny state. Its anti-people, anti-social bans and intrusions are nothing but dictations of the government, which seems much to be like a process by burning the house to get rid of the rodents. Indians are now in a situation like Voltaire once said, it is dangerous to be right when the government is wrong.
Fadhil, you get 30 seconds to speak against the topic. Your time starts now.
In all the rulings in the recent years, there have been very few instances of any perceived impingence on an individual's choices. And even in those cases, they can hardly be termed as undue or unnecessary, thus violating the motion by definition. It is completely within the realm of the government to make new laws for the welfare of the people. That's why they are there, and that's all that has happened. Moreover, as long as the people have the right to dissent, to fight against what they feel is not in their best interest, there is no way that we can say that India is becoming a nanny state.
All right, now you get 3 minutes to debate on the topic. Your time starts now.
My dear friend, in a nation like India, where a person above the age of 18 has a right to select the person whom should rule him and also to select the person to marry, why do you think it is necessary to make such a law to control what he sees, what he eats and where he goes? How do you think such a state is not a nanny state?
In counter to that, let me just bring up a point you said. You said the best government is one that controls the least. If the least amount of control is needed, why have a government at all? Why can't we just abolish the entire government? That is because they are there to provide some checks and balances. And it's for those checks and balances that we allow them to make this control.
My dear friend, a government is the one who should govern the least. If the government is good enough, the people will start to be disciplined by themselves. They don't need someone to rule them. They need someone to stand beside them and tell them what is right and not. And then coming to the point, when the people fear the government, it becomes tyranny. And when the opposite happens, it becomes liberty. We don't have liberty right now in our society. We have tyranny, absolute tyranny, where anything and everything is controlled.
In a country like ours, where a beef ban was marked by people eating and selling beef on the streets, how can you say that we are enforcing tyranny?
Even after that process happening around, lot of states have witnessed deaths and murders according to the issue, my dear friend.
Deaths and murders? You want to picturize an entire state by a few deaths and murders? The fact stands that in a country like ours, you can look at countries like Yemen or Saudi Arabia where the people cannot even have the liberty to walk the streets, and you have a country like ours where we are questioning the government at every turn. These deaths and these murders did not go unquestioned.
And if these bans are going too far, we will have a state where dictatorship or autocracy is living, my dear friends. So let me come to this. We have some ridiculous bans that have been going around in India. For example, mannequins are not allowed to be displayed with women innerwears on in some places, and that was a proposal put forward for the ban.
Let me correct you there. You are saying this is all a violation of our fundamental freedoms. Yes,
yeah, of course.
Along with these fundamental freedoms, we were also ascribed some fundamental duties which we were to follow. And you can see by just glimpsing across the newspapers from recent times, you can see all the very heinous things done to those mannequins which have been displayed in women's innerwear.
Do you think that a person's mentality is based on what he sees? Seeing a mannequin in innerwears, does that arouses sexual feelings. That
It
is
does.
what you are talking
It
about
does.
Indians.
It has been biologically proven that any sort of stimulus
And do you
can
think
ensure
that-
those feelings in the people. And all the government is trying to do is protect not just the people but also children who may be privy to such sites.
My dear friend, it is nothing more than saying that we should ban water because flood is caused by water.
No, it is like a nanny.
All right, fantastic. Now, please may I request you to change your podium, and now this time, Lekshmi will speak against the topic and Fadhil will speak for the topic. You both get 30 seconds each to start up the topic. So Fadhil, your time starts now.
To paraphrase Dante, we are being punished in the worst of ways by having goodwill shoved down our throats whether we want it or not. From our food to our attire, how we make our money to how we spend it, everything has a dictate imposed upon it, not just by our government and their seemingly arbitrary rulings, but also by a group of hyper-fundamentalists who have imposed their vigilante justice upon us as a people. And it seems the very same nation that has given us lots of beautiful little freedoms has also paved the way for its exploitation.
All right, your time's up. Now, Lakshmi, your time starts now.
Liberty of thought, expression, faith, belief, and worship. Even though this is what our preamble suggests, our government bestows us only with freedom and not liberty, that too with certain reasonable restrictions. And these restrictions, along with newly formed ones, are for the betterment of our society. My dear friend, naming a nation like India with such a complex society a nanny state is not at all absolutely correct, because we are considering just the decisions by the government, that too without lawful enforcement.
Okay, now you both get 3 minutes each. Sorry, 3 minutes to debate on the topic. Your time starts now.
My opponent spoke on the betterment and empowerment of the people. If by restricting the rights of the people to choose what they eat, how they dress, they can make and spend their money, how is that an empowerment of the people at all? A democracy is supposed to be for the people, by the people, and of the people, yet the people are seemingly being removed from the equation entirely.
My dear friend, the idea of a nanny state entirely depends on a person's personal perspective. Like take the case of Madhya Pradesh. There, the government, as part of the Swachh Bharat, implemented building a lot of toilets for the persons. But what the villagers did was they destroyed half of the toilets and used the rest for storing grains. According to them, from their perspective, the method or the process done by government to build them toilets might be a nanny system followed by the government. It entirely depends on a person's perspective. What we need to do is be aware of the...
Let me
Fadhil.
make one thing clear here. The term nanny state has been clearly defined as when the government imposes rules that come and encroach upon the personal choices of the people. And in this case, that is exactly what has been done. When something is being done for the people, you think at least the people would be consulted on what is required and what is not.
Do you think building toilets to eradicate open defecation is a violation of people's right?
When the people require food and they're dying of hunger, yes, building toilets is a violation of their rights. If they need food, you give them food. When they ask
That is
for
so
toilets, you
irrational
give them
to think
toilets.
of like that. So let me go to the next point. Every person has the right to criticize in this nation. Right now, we are criticizing what our government has done for all these years. So that is a right a person has. So how can you say that government right now is turning into a nanny state?
If the right for criticism has been given, there is a reason, because there are things happening that need to be criticized. It is when there are things happening, you yourself have stated that we are criticizing. Why? Because impingements are happening. A democracy is supposed to be for the people. So is it that hard to give the people what they want?
No, my dear friend. Actually, when we have a reformation or a new law coming up, everyone and every place there will be covers against it. Like anything you do will affect someone or the other. Take the case of Sri Narayana Guru, who came forward with the methodology or ideology of Oru Devam, Oru Jati, Oru Madam Manushana. But that also approves many incidents in...
There is a fine line between a nanny saying, don't step out, it is, you might get kidnapped, and a nanny saying, don't step out, it is, don't step out naked because that's bad for you. There is a fine line. What is happening now is the government themselves are deciding what is good for the people and not even taking into consideration what the people themselves want. How can you justify something like that?
My dear friend, considering India as a progressive nation with the most population being youth, we need disciplinary action to be taken place so that we can have a better future. A future is not...
Again, there is a vast difference between educating the youth and then directly implanting into the youth what is right and what is wrong.
All right. Thank you so much, Lakshmi and Fadhil. That was such a heated discussion. Thank you so much.